Welcome back to Joe's Summer Boxing. I've done a few videos in the past where I've said something along the lines of Fury and Joshua, usually when I'm talking about the whole pay-per-view thing, Fury and Joshua, if they were real men of the people, as they purport to be, they would take, 15 million quid instead of 50 million, just numbers pulled out of my rear end, 15 million instead of 50 million, and reduce the cost of the pay-per-view, or maybe even abolish the pay-per-view, as a way of saying thank you to the fans, if they were real men of the people. Bear in mind, these two guys are rich beyond probably their own wildest dreams, never mind yours or my wildest dreams. But they don't do that. They keep squeezing the rag dry and maximising their profits and all this sort of stuff. People have said to me, oh, well, I bet you wouldn't take 15 million. I bet if they offered you 50, you'd take the 50. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't, because I'm not a prostitute. I don't do just anything for money, all right? I have my own scruples and my own morals, and they're not for sale. And if that sounds sanctimonious, so be it. And if that sounds like, the big phrase of the day is virtue signalling. Anyone who shows any kind of moral fortitude is accused of being a virtue signaller. I'll wear that with pride. You give that to me if you like. No, I would not fleece the public that have already made me rich to the tune of tens of millions of pounds. Now, I stand by that, regarding Fury and Joshua. Neither of them is a man of the people, all right? The amount of shit that comes out of Fury's mouth could manure a whole, row of fields. And it's not that he's unintelligent, and it's not that he's, completely bad person or anything. He just talks garbage. It's playground crap, they call it mind games. I mean, only if you're a 6-year-old would you fall for the sort of crap that comes out of his mouth. But anyway, in the case of Joshua, you can talk about Black Lives Matter and, looking after your own, or as he once said, and being very sort of media savvy and so on and so forth. Well, take a fucking pay cut so that people in this day and age don't have to pay so much to watch you take part in a boxing match. You're already wealthy to the tune of however many 100 million, whatever it. Well, I don't even know what it is. Now, contrast this with OLEKSANDR USYK, because last week it was revealed that he would be showing the rematch free on his own YouTube channel, I think it is, and also the Ukrainian state TV, Magogo, I think it's called. They're going to be showing it free to all the Ukrainian people, because, we all know what's going on in Ukraine and, the Russian invasion and so on and so forth. But he wants to, he's proud to be Ukrainian. He wants the Ukrainian people to have something to maybe lift their spirits, perhaps. He actually tried to buy the rights, the Ukrainian TV rights, from the Saudis. I think it's the Saudis who owned them, and the Saudis said, no, you can have them, and just kind of gifted them to him. Now, if he was the type of guy who said, fuck everyone else, I'm going to squeeze the rag dry financially, he wouldn't have done that. But he understands that there's something more important than money, and that is, well, you know what's going on over there. The man, there are people being killed, perfectly innocent people, women, children, and, he recognises that there is something more important than money. He recognises that there is something far higher. And I'm not talking religion. I'm not religious myself. If you are, that's fine. But I'm not talking about higher power and all that sort of nonsense. I'm not into all that woo-woo stuff. I'm talking about, on this planet now, there is something more important. There is something more vital than money, so that you can buy these little toys that people enjoy, whether it's a flash car or a massive house or whatever it is. He understands that there is such a thing as community, as unity, culture, some sort of emotional depth, a connection with other people, a collective psyche, if you like, social psyche. He understands all this, and that's why he's paid something back in his own modest way to the Ukrainian people. I'm representing you, I am the champion. I'm fighting the man I took the belts off. I'm not going to force you to pay to watch this, especially not in these dark times. You can watch this for free. It's actually a very modest thing to do, but it means something. It's symbolic of something greater than just one individual collecting as much money as he possibly can, more money than he can probably ever spend. And Usyk ain't short of a few quid. Let's be honest. He's getting well paid anyway. It would be nice to see the same sort of attitude from the Fury and Joshua camps, from their supporters. You know, we live in dark times, not as dark as it is in Ukraine. No one's invading England, no one's invading the UK, but you know, we all know about the cost of living. That we all know about this ludicrous 2-year lockdown thing that has obliterated the economy, and we all know that that no one could get an NHS dentist. We all know that there are waiting lists for the NHS because everything was brushed to one side for the great dreaded Black Death. We all know that people can't get their, they're on waiting lists for cancer treatment. We all know that people's education has suffered. We all know that people's mental health has suffered. You want to talk about fuel costs. BP, was it last week, announced that they had made a 3.9, no, actually, 6.9, I beg your pardon, 6.9 billion pound, or was it dollars? If it's dollars, it's modest, isn't it? 6.9 billion profit. And energy prices in the UK have never been so high. How does that work? Funny how inflation goes up, isn't it? Up and up and up, yet no one's had a pay rise. I thought it was the increase in wages that was supposed to make inflation go up. Apparently not. Apparently it's profit. Bit strange, isn't it? So, the masses at the bottom are all suffering. Now, it would be nice if Fury and Joshua would recognise that, if they are men of the people, and say, okay, we're going to do you a little favour now. It's a modest thing, but you like boxing, I'm a boxer, this is what I do in my life. Have this one on me, as a thank you for the fact that I am so ultra privileged compared to all you lot who are having to scratch around and, maybe take 2 jobs just to survive. And, your life savings have gone to pot because you've had, maybe you're homeless, you've been made homeless perhaps during the pandemic. We've got a housing crisis in this country now. GPs are overworked, all this stuff. You'd think they'd say, well, have this one on us, have this little, thank you, if you like. It would be nice, but it's not going to happen. Not going to happen, is it? Interesting. I mean, I'm not, Fury. I don't trust Fury. I don't have a great opinion of either him or Joshua as role models, if you like. It's kind of like when Fury said, "I'm going to give all that money to the homeless," and then more recently, a few months ago, someone said to him, "Well, did you give that money to the homeless? Mind your own business." What do you mean, mind your own business? You were the one that raised this. You were the one that told people, that elevated your name, put your name out there as being this great philanthropist. Of course we're entitled to say, well, did you give the money to the homeless, this 7 million that you were talking about? He didn't give, I don't know, maybe he gave some, I don't know, but don't give me that mind your own business crap. If you put it out there, we're entitled to ask you, have you given it then to the men? Otherwise, don't pretend you're a man of the people. And Joshua, talking about during the Black Lives Matter thing, look after your own. I guess he was talking about black people. Okay, well, are you looking after your own? You're ultra privileged. You've got more money than most people can dream of. Are you looking after your own? Are you supporting small businesses? You must know that, whether your fans are white, black or sky blue, pink, most of them are probably, their standard of living has taken a dip. Yours hasn't. Yours is, even though you lost your last fight, you're getting paid a big old wedge for this rematch in a couple of weeks. So, compare and contrast. Fury and Joshua on one hand, Usyk on the other. Who do you think's the better role model? Who do you think's the better representative of their people. I know what I think. But leave your comments below if you want to. If not, thank you for watching the video. Subscribe, like the video, or dislike the video. We have choices in life, you see. Thank you for your time. Speak again soon. Bye for now.